Coming up on Mountain News this morning, police in Pike County are asking the public for help in a murder case from 3 years ago that still has no substantial leads.
In one county over, the Floyd County Sheriff's Department is investigating a string of burglaries in the Betsy Lane area, including one from a local school.
And we go to Knott County, where one recovery program is gaining national attention. We talked with a graduate about how it changed their life.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 4:59. I'm Will Puckett.
And I'm Madison Pergram.
Well, thank you for tuning into Mountain News This Morning on this Wednesday. Madison, halfway through the week.
Halfway through the week and yet another day of rain.
Yes, the good news is half of us are waking up without any rain falling this morning, but as Brandon's sure to tell us, that's going to change throughout the day. Brandon, good morning.
Good morning, and it's already started in some areas out to the west this morning. We're seeing that on the satellite and radar. And I show you this first this morning to kind of show you where rain is actually possibly falling at, because live pinpoint Doppler radar is going to tell a different story there. You see maybe a few scattered showers out toward Lake Cumberland, I-75, but if you look at live pinpoint Doppler radar, it's snowing in parts of the area. That's moisture that's not reaching the ground this morning, and if it is, it's a light mist or some flakes, because you saw on the satellite radar, which is sometimes picks up a little bit better on the coverage there. It's just back and forth this morning. So again, be careful out there. You're going to see some stray showers in some spots this morning. There is some fog, so keep that in mind. And again, if you're seeing anything in those areas, if you live north of the Hal Rogers Highway 80 corridor, let me know. Message me on social media, but I don't think that's actually reaching the ground this morning. We're looking at dense fog there, less than 1 mile visibility at Huntington and Prestonsburg, 1.5 miles, Jackson Hazard, about the same there at Moorhead. So just be careful this morning. Lots of fog floating around, 1.5 miles at Pikeville as well. 35 Pikeville, Prestonsburg, much colder this morning. 37 Jackson Hazard, 38 London, 34 Irvin, Moorhead, and Ashland at 32. So temperatures are right up that way if it's actually reaching the ground. But again, I don't think it is. But those temperatures will actually continue to go up today throughout the day. We'll be in the 40s by the afternoon, and the daytime high tonight is at 11 o'clock of 56. So it's going to be one of those systems that temperatures continue to climb throughout the day, but the rain chances do too. We'll talk more about that coming up here in a little bit. Madison?
Thank you, Brandon. Well, sad news out of Powell County. We learned last night that a police officer died yesterday after suffering a medical emergency at the courthouse. The officer was taken to the hospital in Winchester. The Clark County Coroner's Office identified the officer as 40-year-old Detective James Kirk. His death is expected to be considered in the line of duty. His body was taken to a funeral home in Powell County by a police escort.
Clancy Atkins was shot in his Pike County home 3 years ago, leaving behind a family, friends, and more questions than answers. The identity of the murderer is still unknown, and Kentucky State Police troopers say they have followed every lead to a standstill. But the family has not given up, and neither has Kentucky State Police. But they need your help to find the next lead. The family says they will not rest until they get the answers they're looking for.
At least maybe if we knew it, we might, feel like, he's getting justice for it.
Anyone with information about the murders is asked to contact Kentucky State Police Post 9 at 606-433-7711.
And the Floyd County Sheriff's Department is investigating a string of burglaries in the Betsy Lane area. One of the break-ins happened at Betsy Lane Elementary School. This surveillance footage is from late February 1st going into the early morning hours of the 2nd. Sheriff John Hunt says the thieves left behind 2 cell phones that night.
We get lucky, and the crooks are not the smartest people in the world. So we're in the middle of getting that analyzed and downloaded, and hopefully it's going to give us a clear picture of the person who had it in possession at the time they committed the crime.
Surveillance footage shows one person taking multiple items like backpacks, a computer, and even school supplies. Sheriff Hunt says if you have any information about the burglaries, you can call their anonymous tip line at 606-949-2020.
Back to Powell County now, where vandals struck at the Red River Gorge again. The U.S. Forest Service posted these photos saying the restrooms at the end of Tunnel Ridge Road in the historic Nada Tunnel have been spray painted. Nada Tunnel is an old railroad tunnel constructed more than 100 years ago and is on the National Register of Historic Places. If you have any information about the vandalism, they are asking you to contact the Daniel Boone National Forest.
And deputies in Laurel County need your help finding an escaped inmate. Jail officials say this man, Jason Rice, ran away from work detail yesterday afternoon near the Levy Jackson Cemetery in Barberville. He was last seen near Highway 1023 and Highway 223. Anyone who sees Rice is asked to call police.
In Hindman, the Appalachian School of Lutherie is gaining national recognition for its cultural recovery program. From the New York Times to the other night on the CBS Evening News. But what they did not show you is what happens after they graduate. WYMT's Lacey Roberts talked with a graduate of the recovery program, Jeremy Haney. Haney has been sober 18 months this month and is an employee at the Troublesome Creek String Instrument Company. He was born with spina bifida, which restricts his movement, and how he became addicted to opioids. Haney said that being in recovery is more than what people think.
See, I don't only want to recover, I want to be the best version of me I can be. It's really important to realize that you're worthy. You just got to put the work in.
Haney also says his faith in God helped him realize he was not alone. This program is funded through a competitive grant program. They say they do not have set funding for next year, but are confident with the positive publicity, they will be able to continue.
And another flu-related death in the Bluegrass. This time the victim was less than a year old. The Lexington-Fayette County Health Department says this is the first pediatric flu-related death this season. Health experts say babies are at high risk of the flu because their immune systems are still building. They say the best way to stay healthy and protect others is to wash your hands, stay home if you're sick, and get a flu shot. Well, thank you for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning.
More news is on the way. Coming up, we'll show you how the Pikeville Medical Center used a recently awarded grant to help treat infants in emergency situations.
While we had a nice little break from the rain, it returns today and some storms are possible with it. On the latest forecast in about 3 minutes.